Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Rambling Film Lover, and on this episode, I wanted to talk about a sort of missed opportunity. When I was a little kid, many eons ago, there were a few computer games that I would play because my dad liked to build PCs, and there were really only a few games that came out. TIE Fighter was one of them. Mega Race, I really loved. And the other one was Doom. We had both Doom and then Doom 2. I didn't play any of the other ones after, but I was very obsessed with Doom. Yes, it was very violent. But my sister and I, we would play it like crazy, and we did our very best. We got very, very far before we kind of caved in and looked for cheat codes to try to get as far as we could. I remember we got like God mode and the walk through walls one because we just really wanted to get past a couple of levels. I think for Doom 2, we got the cheat codes because we just were having trouble getting far. But I believe in the first Doom, we got pretty far on our own. But anyways, I remember they had actually adapted it for a film starring The Rock and Carl Urban, etc. But that was more of an adaptation, I believe, of like Doom 3, which to me it feels like a whole other universe. It's very different. Doom 1 and 2, if you've played them, you can tell like it's very different from the other ones, or at least maybe my obsession was just like that much deeper. But I didn't really, care for the movie. Yeah, it was like great action and whatnot, but I had always hoped that they would adapt at least the first Doom into a film. And now there's going to be obstacles, of course, and all that. They probably picked the third one because it had like more of a cast, or because maybe it was easier to build the sets. Picture Doom and all the floor plans. But I would think you have a plethora of options. Like, just that first level alone would have been great to see actually built. Like, no green screens. I would have loved like real practical effects, real practical sets. And I totally think it could have been done. Now, the moment probably has passed. We are already on what, Doom 5 or 6 or whatever, like 1 just came out. As you can tell, I'm not really in tune with the latest installation, but when I was watching Hardcore Henry, I had rewatched it the other day. When I watched it, I thought, "Oh my god, this is how they should have done Doom." Very, very much like it. And maybe if anything, slow it down, because the thing about Hardcore Henry that I think happens with a lot of films like this happened with Jason with the Bourne films, at least the last two. If the camera is moving too fast or whatnot, I know that people get motion sickness. They're not able to focus. Like, I understand. And that's the good thing about the Doom adaptation. With the first one, you can move slower. In fact, you should move slower. Doom guy is just kind of transplanted there, and so he's trying to figure out what's going on because some of his buddies are now zombies, and you've got cacodemons like around, and he's, at least in the first few levels, like it goes from slower to kind of quicker to more of them appearing like in your face, transporting or whatnot. But if you go slow and you use that same kind of camera effect that they used, which was basically a GoPro like kind of saw contraption looking type thing on your head, on the actor's head, and just have them walking through, I think you can make a perfect, like damn near perfect adaptation of it. Now, yes, you're gonna have to cut a few things and whatnot, but what I think is important for adapting the first Doom, the part that I think was the most frightening for me as the player, is not just the demons. Like, yes, they're horrific creatures. They sound horrible. Like the zombie guys, like it's just, they get worse and worse every time. The one that you shoot it and then the flaming skulls coming out. Yes, all that is frightening. We all know that. To me, what I think scared me the most was the fact that you are completely alone. You are isolated. And those first few levels, it's pretty quiet. You're walking through these corners and you don't know what's going to pop out. But you have no backup. It's just you. You're basically all that's left of the human race on Mars. That's why that episode, that the pilot of the Twilight Zone is probably one of my favorites, where it's the guy who's, I think it's in his hometown or he's in a town and he can't find anybody. Stuff is working, he's able to eat, but he can't find anybody. And it slowly drives him mad. He's alone. Anything like that. I know there's like another example of that where somebody's just like completely alone. Oh, the Langoliers. Um, Unless you've read the book, I never read the Stephen King book, but I do remember the TV film adaptation of it with like David Prowse and Bronson Pinchot and the girl from the Secret Garden. Like there is a part where they're kind of, it's like a ripple in time kind of thing. They're kind of stuck before time or like right after time. It's weird, but they're in that airport and it's completely empty. Like that isolation for me, that's what gives me the chills. That whole fear of like I'm alone and nobody's gonna help me. And in the case of Doom, it's like, oh great, now I gotta plow through all these hideous beasts and I don't know, what else I'm gonna encounter. I don't even know how I'm gonna get out of here. But let's just picture it like that. If you have seen Hardcore Henry, which I love, I think probably mostly for Charlton Copley because he's just fantastic. But if you've seen it and you've played Doom, you can get why I like the feel of it. Let's just strap that GoPro mask thingy on the actor's head and just have him walking around. Maybe if anything, have him walk like a little bit slower. I know he can't really do let's not have them do quick head movements or anything like that because it's true audience members. I know they'll get sick. But if we could just do like a test run of that, like before Saw came out, they did just like that short film, which was the girl with like the bear trap on her face. And that was enough for like the studios to greenlight, like, yes, give me the entire film. Or I think they did the same thing with that movie Cashback. They just like filmed a little portion of it. And then the studio's like, we love it, make it bigger. Do that. Hollywood, somebody. It's not too late. Some of us are still like super huge fans of Doom and this whole nostalgia thing is still going on. Let's go back. Try it. Let's slap on that thing on an actor. And you know who I think would be pretty darn perfect as Doom guy? I have a feeling everyone's going to be saying Carl Urban. And look, let me just say, I love him. This guy can do no wrong. I still want a second like Dread film with him in it. Like, please, this guy's wonderful. But for the Doom game film adaptation, I would want Diego Klatenhoff as the Doom guy. Now, again, we're really not going to see him, I think, because if we're going to try to do the film just all POV shot, you won't. Although, let's just splice in some scenes of his face or whatnot. Let's be a little more cinematic. Yes, I don't want to be completely like locked into this. But if you look at Diego and Doom guy, I mean, the haircut's pretty much the same. The hair color is spot on. In fact, I think Diego's like prettier. Doom guy has a very like chiseled face, very G.I. Joe. But when I was watching The Blacklist, I immediately thought that Diego looked very much like him. So there's your casting right there. Let's construct, if anything, yeah, like the first floor plan, because it's just like a lot of hallways from what I remember. And then that part where you're in the outside. But let's do that. Maybe the cacodemons have to be CGI, but you can have the zombie guys, like that could be practical, special effects and whatnot. And have that same like eerie environment. And like, I think it could really, really work. Now, again, listen, I was born in the 80s. This is my nostalgia trip. That's something that I had always wanted to happen. Could be that it's past. But when I had seen Hardcore Henry, that was done way, way after these two games have long since come and gone, I thought this is great for something like that. I guess any shoot 'em up game, you could absolutely do it like this. But if you mix that, the shoot 'em up, the whole, the point of view of the character, and you add all those other elements of like Doom that bring that fear, something that really chills you to the bone, I think it could really work, honestly. It's just another thing that I was kind of daydreaming about, Makes you wonder, though. I know you guys are picturing it right now. If you just kind of mix the two together, wouldn't it really be something? Anyways, that's what I was rambling about. I was really just, I had to watch Hardcore Henry the other day and I was just like, damn it, missed opportunity. Let's find the director and ask him to do it. Let's see if he was even a fan of it. I'm not sure. But I think it'd be great. If not, it's good to know that we at least have that technology to do like a cool POV type thing. Let me know what you guys think. Are any of you guys huge fans? Which Doom did you play? Have you played all of them? Should I play, 3 and onwards? I'm a really, really stubborn person. I still will play like Doom, like to this day. Not even the second one, I'll just play the first one. But let me know what you guys think. Are there any like POV shoot 'em up games or something that you would want to see adapted onto the screen? And do you agree? Would you like it done like how they filmed Hardcore Henry? Bye guys.
In the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know so well I've got you on